There is a strange feeling some people experience at least once in life. You arrive somewhere you have never visited, yet it feels familiar. You meet someone for the first time, but their presence seems ancient, almost remembered. You develop talents unusually early. Certain fears appear without any obvious cause. Sometimes you dream of places, people, or lives that do not belong to your current story. Many cultures explain these moments differently, but Buddhism developed one of the deepest and most detailed ideas about this mystery, rebirth. But Buddhism approaches reincarnation differently from what many people imagine. The Buddha did not teach that a permanent soul travels from body to body like a traveler changing clothes. Instead, he described existence as a continuous stream of causes and conditions. One moment gives rise to the next. One life conditions another. Nothing eternal moves across lifetimes, yet nothing is completely disconnected either. Imagine lighting one candle from another. The second flame is not identical to the first flame, but without the first, the second could not exist. According to Buddhist thought, what continues is not a fixed self, it is momentum. Habits continue. Intentions continue. Attachments continue. Mental tendencies continue. Karma continues, and because of this continuity, some Buddhists believe traces of previous existence can sometimes appear in the present life. The first sign often discussed is unexplained familiarity. Have you ever entered a place and felt as though you already knew it? Not because of photographs or memories, but with an emotional certainty that feels impossible to explain. In Buddhist traditions, this feeling is not considered proof of a past life. Buddhism is generally cautious about certainty. But such experiences are sometimes interpreted as impressions arising from previous conditions. The Buddha himself described remembering many former lives during the night of his enlightenment. According to Buddhist texts, he saw countless previous births, different names, forms, places, joys, and losses. This insight became part of understanding the cycle known as samsara, the endless process of birth, death, and becoming. If memory can survive in rare circumstances, perhaps small echoes may occasionally appear even in ordinary people. Another sign people often connect with previous lives is unusual natural ability. History is filled with stories of children displaying extraordinary talents before formal training. Musical genius. Mathematical intuition. Deep philosophical understanding. Languages learned with unusual speed. Buddhism would not immediately say these are proof of reincarnation. Yet traditional Buddhist thought allows for tendencies accumulated over many lives. If someone practiced compassion repeatedly, perhaps compassion becomes easier. If someone cultivated concentration for lifetimes, perhaps calm appears naturally. If someone trained artistic abilities repeatedly, perhaps talent emerges more quickly, not because a soul stored information, but because causes continue producing effects. This idea is important. Buddhism does not teach destiny, past conditions influence the present, but they do not imprison it. Another possible sign is irrational fear. Some people experience powerful fears without identifiable causes: fear of water, fear of heights, fear of fire, fear of certain places. Modern psychology offers many explanations, and Buddhism does not reject them. Buddhism values direct observation and practical causes, but some Buddhist traditions also leave open the possibility that emotional imprints from previous conditions may survive in subtle ways. If attachment and craving continue beyond death, could strong fear also leave impressions? Some Buddhist teachers have explored this question for centuries. Another experience people connect to rebirth is recurring dreams. Dreams where you appear as another person, dreams set in unfamiliar historical periods, dreams with emotional intensity greater than ordinary imagination. In Buddhism, dreams are usually treated carefully. Dreams can come from memory, emotion, desire, anxiety, physical states, or symbolic processing. Still, Buddhist literature includes accounts where dreams revealed meaningful insight. The key question is not whether a dream is literally a past life. The question is whether the dream changes your understanding of suffering, attachment, and yourself. Because in Buddhism, spiritual value does not depend on historical accuracy, it depends on whether something leads to wisdom. Another sign people discuss is instant connection. Have you ever met someone and felt immediate closeness, no effort, no explanation, as if you had known them before? Buddhist ideas of karma sometimes describe relationships continuing through changing forms. People influence one another repeatedly, acts create consequences, attachments reconnect, teachers and students may cross paths again, friends and enemies may return in different circumstances, not because the universe assigns fixed roles, but because actions create patterns. This idea appears across many Buddhist stories. The Buddha spoke of individuals encountering each other across numerous lives, yet there is an important warning: Buddhism teaches not to become obsessed with discovering who you were. That question can become another attachment. People often imagine they were kings, queens, warriors, or famous figures, but Buddhism asks a different question: who are you becoming now? Because knowing 10 previous lives means nothing if suffering continues. Again, not proof, only possibility. Buddhism values humility in these matters. One of the most unusual signs discussed in some traditions is spontaneous memory. There are documented stories, especially in Asia, of children reporting names, places, events, or families they supposedly could not know. Some cases attracted scientific interest. Buddhism does not demand belief in every story, but it does leave room for possibilities beyond ordinary assumptions. The Buddha encouraged investigation, not blind acceptance, not blind rejection. Observe, question, practice, see what reduces suffering. Interestingly, Buddhism teaches that remembering past lives is not automatically beneficial. Imagine remembering every loss, every mistake, every death, every attachment. The mind could become overwhelmed. For this reason, forgetting may sometimes be a form of compassion. You begin again, new opportunities, new choices, new understanding. What truly carries forward is not memory but conditioning. That means every action matters, every word, every intention, every habit. You are creating future experience right now. This changes the entire meaning of rebirth. Rebirth is not merely something after death. You are being reborn constantly. Every thought creates the next thought, every decision shapes the next version of yourself. The person you become tomorrow depends partly on who you are today. This moment is already a kind of reincarnation. Buddhism asks us to look closely. Who are you becoming? What habits are repeating? What suffering keeps returning? What patterns seem older than this moment? Whether one believes literally in past lives or interprets rebirth psychologically, the teaching points toward responsibility. You inherit causes, you create causes. Life becomes a river, not a statue, flowing, changing, continuing. And perhaps the greatest sign that you have lived before is not déjà vu, unusual dreams, hidden talent, or mysterious fears. Perhaps the greatest sign is something simpler, the feeling that you have been searching for something your entire life, a sense that no achievement fully satisfies, a quiet intuition that there must be another way to live. In Buddhism, that feeling itself becomes the beginning of awakening. Because according to the Buddha, beings wander through countless cycles, seeking lasting happiness in temporary things, until one day they stop, they turn inward, they observe, they understand, and they awaken. So if you have ever wondered whether you lived before, Buddhism offers an answer that is both mysterious and practical. Maybe many times. But the more important question is this: if this is not your first life, what will you do differently in this one?